professional sound.
Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Adam Carswell. Hi Grandma. And today I want to dive into a book review with you, a book that I've read recently and I highly recommend, and it's called The Millionaire Moses, His Prosperity Secrets for You. I actually referenced this book in episode 100 of Dream Chasers, my podcast. Go ahead and check that one out. That was a fun interview. But that reminded me that I didn't do a review on this one yet, and I really like this book. And I first heard of it, I'm not sure if I just mentioned the author, her name is Catherine Ponder. She's written many books similar to this one. I gravitated towards this one because there's another book that I've read multiple times called The Secret. And in the book, The Secret, the author in that book, Rhonda Byrne, recommends this one. And so I finally had the opportunity to dive into it. And so today I briefly want to share with you some of my key takeaways from this book and ways that you can apply the prosperity secrets of Moses into your world to help give you a more abundant, opulent, and prosperous life as well. So, got my notes here. We're not going to go through all of these, but the ones that stand out to me I'm going to share with you right now. And the first one is your intuition is your genius power for success. I should backtrack a little bit here too. Now, the book talks about how Moses, who is a legendary Bible character, was raised by royal Egyptians. If you don't know the story of Moses, you can go ahead and look it up. But basically, as a child, Moses was supposed to be killed. In order to save him, his mother put him out into the river, and he floated his way downstream until he landed in Pharaoh's palace. I think Pharaoh's wife, or whatever you call the wife of Pharaoh, found Moses, brought him in, and then they raised the baby as if he was their own. Anyways, long story short, Moses was Jewish, and his people were enslaved by the Egyptians at the time. That is kind of important to know. So, back to the laws of prosperity. Moses was raised, clearly, he was raised different. He was raised in royalty, and so all of this information that he cultivated throughout his life, he was able to bring back, and the name Moses means to draw out. And so it's no mistake that, as legend and as story goes, Moses drew his people out of slavery, out of Egypt. And what we don't realize sometimes is that during and through all of this, Moses lived a very nice, wealthy lifestyle, first and foremost. I know this sounds crazy because some of this stuff sounds like common things that we hear all the time, but I would say, given the circumstances, not everyone knew some of these simple concepts to make your life greater. And number one for me, what stood out in this book is how Moses used his intuition, and that was his genius power. So your intuition is your genius power. I'll use this as an example. Right now, I've felt called and compelled to make this video. I don't know why, I've just felt it. That's my intuition. So I'm gonna work with that using my genius power to create this video. The more we can continuously act on our intuition, the more genius we unlock. Now, there's a lot of power in words, especially writing down words. And this is, again, a huge takeaway from this book. And I recommend this practice to anyone listening today. Practice writing down this phrase or saying it to yourself. I am that I am. There is a divine universal power in that phrase. If you're here based on intuition, I encourage you, try it. It's a mantra that I use very frequently now since reading this book, and I have to say, I am that I am. Here's another phrase or mantra practiced and handed down by Moses. I am a child of fortune. I am a child of the universe, and I claim my good fortune now. There's so much power in these words. And we can see the influence of thinking in this way and how much it impacted Moses' life and how he was able to liberate many, many people. Another cool phrase that I had to write down: the universe has unlimited good for me, and I accept it, receive it, and experience it now. Say that again and write it down. The universe has unlimited good for me, and I accept it, receive it, and experience it now. When you boil it down, really all this is a new way of thinking. And thoughts are very powerful. After all, anything that exists first began as a thought. So never underestimate the power of thought. So here's some new thoughts for you, some new concepts if you've never considered this before. A couple more takeaways and then we'll get out of here. If you've been aiming for something that has not quite come into your life, deliberately expand your mental image and aim for something bigger. Bless what you have at hand and watch it increase mightily. Lastly, I'd say many of you probably know that Moses is famous for the story of parting the Red Sea. That story can be translated as a metaphor for all of us, knowing that you can always cross your Red Seas by doing the fearless thing. So whatever the fearless thing is in your life that you need to do right now, tomorrow, this month, this year, before you kick the bucket, always remember, take action and do the fearless thing. Follow that intuition, follow that genius power, and watch yourself become as influential as the legendary Moses. Thanks again for tuning in with me here today. I'm sure I'll have another book review out for you soon. Until then, remember, in all you think, say, and do, take it to the next level.